What's up, everyone? Skyler from Chernobyl Studios. Today, we are going to look at the Northern Mauler from Revv Amplification, done together with my buddy Glenn Fricker. So you heard in the demonstration video that obviously it sounds great. There are a couple things about this pedal that took me by surprise, and I actually had to reach out to the guys at Revv to ask a couple questions just to make sure that I was using the pedal correctly, and that I understood what the pedal was actually for. So the demonstration video, I didn't do any tones actually. There are three guitar tones in that video. One is the Swedish Chainsaw, the second is the Revv Classic, and then the third was the Savage Solo. Those are all settings that are right out of the manual. So I thought it would be pretty cool to be like, okay, how good does the pedal sound? So I'm going to use recommended starting settings, that are in the manual itself, and write a demo song. And I gotta say, it sounds pretty damn good. I think we might go over what I did in the mix here later on, but let's talk a bit more about this pedal. So let's go ahead and bring it up heading style. Just off to the camera here, off to the side. I don't know if I'm gonna do this in post or not. I have the red Maxon OD808X Extreme Overdrive connected to this because one of the things that I found out was that the Mauler is actually not a super high gain pedal. It's more, I don't want to call it like a low gain vintage pedal because it's certainly not, but it's not a high gain jet machine. You do need to push it if you want the lows to be a little bit tighter. That doesn't mean the pedal sounds bad. It just means that you need to go in knowing that. Like if you think you're gonna get super tight high gain tones, you're actually not gonna with the Northern Mauler, and that's something that I had to ask Revv about and get more clarification on. And then once I understood, oh, okay, so the pedal's not actually that tight, it's more fat, bit loose in the low end, no problem. Put the max on in front of it, and bam, there we go, no problems. Okay. So if we're looking at the pedal here, it's basically the left side is your Swedish Chainsaw, the right side is some sort of Revv distortion. A lot of people are saying it's some kind of G distortion. I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm not going to try to speculate, but it's a Revv sound, as it were. Okay. And then obviously we have the Swedish Chainsaw, which is not actually a true Swedish Chainsaw sound. Okay. It's Revv's take on it. All right. So it's their interpretation of it. And it sounds good. I'll say like that. Okay. So if we just turn the pedal on here, I do not have the max on engaged. Okay, it is not on. So this is just the straight Northern Mauler. I'm going into the clean channel of the Revv G20. The tone stack is all down the middle. Nothing is happening. Literally everything is down the middle, and I'm going into my Torpedo Captor X with an Angle XXL cab. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm playing EMGs actives in my BC Rich NJ Series Virgin. Sounds fine, but I mean, you can still hear the little tub. It's a little bit tubby down there, and you would think that, oh yeah, I'll just increase the distortion or whatever, and everything will be fine. Maybe if it was working like one after another. But what makes this pedal so interesting is this blend knob is basically controlling how much of the chainsaw you get, which would be to the left, or to the Revv distortion that you get, which would be to the right. But the Giv'r, the Giv'r, like we're out on the snowmobile trail, just keep her moving, So the Giv'r, that's the Canadian for distortion, So what you do is, once you're done opening your Labatt Blue, you just crank the distortion, you give her, and there you go. There you go. Keep her moving. There you go. All right. Tells your mom says hi. All right. So you do that, but they're working together. It's parallel. So you can't control one or the other independently. You're controlling both at the same time. So the more gain you actually give, the more it will break up a little bit, and it's actually not tight, right? Let's just do with what I personally know best, which is going to be the chainsaw. So the chainsaw is very simple. Everything cranked. There we go. Everything cranked, and it sounds like this. So that sounds like Swedish Chainsaw to me. Now, interesting thing here is the characteristics of the chainsaw come out more when a note has been sustaining for a little bit. So it's a little bit after you hit the note where the chainsaw esque actually starts to happen. But it's way more. How can I say this? It's way more usable and way more musical than it were to be if you just try to put an HM2 in. Because the HM2 has a lot of you need to do a lot of work on that one. However, it's smoother, it's softer, it's not as aggressive, so it's not as hardcore or as same chainsaw-ish as it could be as if it was just an HM2. But this sounds nice. Definitely sounds like chainsaw. Uh, yeah, sounds great. So for what the Mauler is doing with it, it works perfectly fine. Now I think it works fine because even though I did that in in the demo video where I had the chainsaw completely, I did quad tracking. I don't know how many people would really be doing that as a main tone. You can, it sounds really good, but I think most people who would grab the Mauler are probably going to try to do the best of both worlds. Now let's switch over to the Revv channel, which I don't know if you crank the volume or not. I don't remember. Sounds amazing. Really nice channel. Really enjoy it. Has the nice squeaky. I like the squeakiness of it. Sounds great. So blending these two channels together makes a lot of sense because the chainsaw is really wild, really loose, and then the Revv side is obviously more tight, but it's not that tight, for being 2023 standards, okay? But it sounds great. Tons of low end here. Ridiculous amounts of bass. But a little too many mids for me. So if we bring this back a little. That's a bit more my style there. Scooped mids, whatever. Hey, a group of the 90s listening to death metal. Don't worry about it. And a little bit of treble. And there you go. It sounds pretty dang good, actually. Now, the whole point here would be to blend it now with the Swedish Chainsaw. And in my opinion, the Swedish Chainsaw should always be ready. It should always be cranked. Because what's the point otherwise? What's the point? So let's blend this in. So I blended it just to the point where it started adding too many mids. So my recommendation would be to blend it in, so depending what you're playing. Obviously, if you're doing a lot of open chords, black metal, Swedish Chainsaw, man. But if you want to do more intricate style stuff that you need the pick attack and you need the note definition, you probably want to bring the blend to like a 60-40. So it's it's a 60% to the Revv channel, with 40% to the Swedish Chainsaw channel. So it's relatively clean, right? So it's a pretty simple pedal, guys. It's really nothing. Doesn't require a dissertation here, or that much longer of a video. Now I will engage the Maxon OD808X. This is the red Maxon pedal. Okay. Very gnarly, very badass sounding. So I think that for this video, I will go ahead and show the mix session. So let's jump over there and I'll show you guys what I did in the mix. All right, here we are in the mix. Let's go ahead and jump into this. So the drums here are Hertz drums. I've been using Hertz drums a lot recently. And obviously I was just there. So their drums are freaking amazing, especially for this fast black metal style stuff. I don't know, just Hertz drums. I love it. Here's all the MIDI, all humanized and stuff, all with the same process that I follow that I taught in Metal Drum Programming Mastery. So if you want to program drums like this, I'll show you how to do it. Link down below. All right. Bass is Loki bass, very simple. Nothing happening. Now the guitars. So the guitars are super simple, guys. I did not sit here and tone craft. I literally just go, okay, here's Revv Classic, the settings in the manual, Revv Classic. And then the Swedish Chainsaw setting, Swedish Chainsaw. Savage Solo setting, Savage Solo. That's all I did. All right, so I didn't spend any time tone crafting or anything like that. I just recorded these direct right into the DAW here through the torpedo, which has the same angle XXL that you have been hearing this entire time, okay? So what I did was I put them all into one bus, all right? And I did very basic EQ here. Yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm sort of separating my EQ process a little bit. So I'm doing the filters at 109K. I guess I could, whatever. We'll A/B this later. And then with the API here, I'm boosting with 10K. It's literally the thing I've been doing for years that I teach in Guitar Tone Mastery. And then here we just have the Soothe with the E-Guitar Harsh preset, and I just jiggled the knob on the depth here until it sounded good to my ear, and L1. It's all the same. Like my process has not changed for years. And like I say, if you want to know how to create these tones, Guitar Tone Mastery link is down below. All right. For lead guitars, it's kind of the same concept. Now, the only difference here being that for your guitars, you don't need to have all this mid-range stuff. You can thin out the lead guitars and it's not a big deal, right? So that's exactly what I've done here. Black Hole, which I have told you before, is like my secret weapon for black metal guitars. And then I did add a stock literal stereo delay preset from Cubase and just adjusted the mix knob. Done. All right. Let's have a listen now to the, let's just listen to the rhythm guitars with no processing. So on their own, gritty, nasty, gnarly. Let's go ahead now, AB the EQ. So not a whole lot happening here. This filter is cleaning up the guitar tone a little bit more, and then the 10K boost with the API does what that always does. This is just how I get my sound. I really like this. It adds that soft high presence shelf at the top. It's not a shelf, it's a boost. Whatever, semantics. Anyway, 10K boost around 2 dB with the API. I like it like that. All right, and then with the lead guitars, with the EQ move. I really like this lead setting. I think it's quite nice. It's quite good. Really am a fan of that. All right, and then that's quite literally the guitar sound. So very simple. If I open up the mixer here, but guitars just one EQ, the API Soothe L1, the leads 1 EQ, reverb delay. Man, it sounds really good. So for recording, the Northern Mauler is fantastic, and it's an easy pedal to use, playing live and recording. I think it's a great pedal. It's a great pedal. So my ultimate final 2 cents are, the pedal's fantastic. If you're looking for this type of sound where you want to have a bit more of aggression, but not go off the rails, like you want to have the kind of, it's breaking up a little bit and be evil sounding, the Northern Mauler is fantastic. It's not too extreme where it's pushing you in really into the HM2 territory. It's not a true HM2. It's inspired by the HM2 sound, and it's very musical and has a lot of the really shitty qualities of the HM2 taking out of it, all right? The G2, or excuse me, the Revv side of the pedal is fantastic. Just remember, if you want something tighter, you will need to boost it with an overdrive to tighten it up a little bit. I was using the red Maxon OD808X, the extreme overdrive. Perhaps the TS9 would be just fine, or even the green Maxon would be just fine, but I tend to use the overdrive one, or the red one, the extreme one, all right? So big thank you to the guys at Revv. They did send me the pedal for this video, and I spent a lot of time on it. I even contacted them to see if I was, get some extra questions asked about, answered about the pedal. They were very kind, very nice, super good guys. And by the way, their packaging literally is on point. Like, this is awesome. Like, I know maybe I should show this in the beginning, but the packaging is great. Very, and these are the settings right here that you see. That right here, that's what I used in the demo song here. The packaging is great because you get candy and Sour Patch Kids. These are my favorite. I had to share them with Stacy, but whatever. But also you get a bag, that it's very nice bag, and then a collection of stickers, red stickers. So you get a Northern Mauler sticker here and a Revv red sticker. So the packaging, the boxing, fantastic, awesome job. So it's a great company. I can see why people love them so much. They were very kind to me. They sent the pedal my way to do this video, and I'm happy to do it for them. So it's a great sounding pedal. If this is the kind of sound that you want to add to your guitar tone crafting sequence, definitely get it. It's worth every penny. Links down below for the pedal. They are affiliate links for Thomann or Sweetwater, so it'll help the channel a little bit if you buy through those links. Appreciate it. Hope you liked the video. I will see you in the next one.